30 years is a long time, and I can honestly say that it's flown by very fast. I think there's some great differences. The game's changed a lot. Started coaching, we didn't have a three-point line, we didn't have a shot clock. Fortunately, I was right there at the beginning of those stages. But I think looking over the years at even our institution, so many things have changed. I've been so blessed to have so many wonderful assistant coaches. I've got a phenomenal staff. Charlie Wilson is associate head coach and Carl Richburg is assistant coach, Derek Kitch. I'm very blessed to have a wonderful staff. If this was my very first year at Central Methodist, I would be ecstatic to head into this season with this team. And I don't know if it means any more or less, but after 30 years, I'm thrilled about having this squad head into the 2014-15 year.
I would say that we're about 10 deep this year compared to last year where we were closer to 6 or 7 deep. So our depth allows our players to go harder for a shorter amount of time, and then they can have a sub and know that their sub is going to be reliable.
Coaches have worked on our defense every day, constantly. We do hours and hours of defense. We work on defense more than our offense, for sure. It's a main focus point for us.
We returned John Palmer, returning starter, returning captain, one of the best vocal team leaders I've had in many, many years.
Coming in my first year is more of like getting used to the system and getting used to my role. And this year, coming into the season, I knew what my role was. I knew that I needed to step up and be a vocal leader.
Our backup point guard, Cody Anderson, a 4-year letterman here at Central Methodist, talented. I think pound for pound, size for size, one of the strongest players in the conference. He's 5'8", he could dunk, and probably bench press as much as anybody else in the league.
This offseason I improved by working on my ball handling, trying to get to the rack more, getting a floater, mid-range game, not just settling for threes all the time.
I believe that we're going to have one of the top shooting guards in the country. I really honestly thought he should have been newcomer of the year last year in our conference. Averaged 17 points a game, one of the top 3-point shooters in the country. However, is playing backup to a Melvin Tillman in scoring. It's not often you get someone averaging 17 points and second on your team in scoring. Mitch is one of the best shooters I've ever had, and we've been blessed over the past 20 years of having the top 3-point shooters in the country.
He is a great leader by example. He doesn't do anything he doesn't need to do, but he does all the things that he needs to do. And obviously he's one of the greatest shooters in the nation. Our
3-guard position is going to be a newcomer. We got a toss-up right now. I would say it's going to be Mike McCode, Jr. out of northeastern Oklahoma, but he's from Orlando, Florida. He's about 6'4", gives us a bigger size, much stronger. Very good outside shooter, strong defender, rebounder, and he's probably the best player on our team at creating his own shot. He's going to be challenged greatly by another player, newcomer, who's going to play both the 2 and the 3, and that's Quentin Hunter. We call him Q. He transfers in from University of Indianapolis, one of the top NCAA Division II programs. Q's he attacks the basket well, he's a good shooter, great athlete, and again, very strong.
Quentin Hunter, he's a great shooter. I think Mike McCode, if we can get his feet right, he'll be a great shooter for us. And I think we got a lot of good shooters this year.
We jumped to the 4 spot. We added a new player, Mitch Windling from Carl Sandburg College in Illinois. Mitch is a very good athlete, very hard worker, about 6'6", will be our tallest player. We're not going to be very big this year. Plays offense and defense, has a nice outside shot, very strong finisher inside.
We're a whole lot deeper than last year, where we were dependent on 3, maybe 4 players last year. Now we got 8 to 10 guys we can depend on any night.
We have 2 guys competing at the 5 spot. Eric McDaniel, who I thought who came on very strong the second half of the year. Honorable mention All-Conference. Again, Mitch Farr was 3rd team All-Conference, so we do return a couple of All-Conference players. But Eric is good this year. He's more than we could have ever asked for as far as his work ethic, his demeanor, his leadership. And he's challenged by a 3rd team All-American player, Devin Pearson, out of North Ark Community College. Devin's strong, powerful, mostly a true back-to-basket player, whereas we can play Eric kind of a 4 and 5 spot. So when you mix these players right here, that's going to give us very good balance, and I think very good depth, along with some other players in our program. That's going to make us, I think, a hard match.
Coach Sherman always has the goal of making it to Kansas City. I mean, he's already talked about that a couple times this year.
I couldn't be more proud last year of our conference sending 4 teams to the national tournament. Right there, it means you're going to have to be a pretty good team to compete in this conference. But more so, Benedictine winning the conference, Culver runner-up, Mid-American Evangel tying for 3rd. We were the next team. We were 1 game out of 3rd, 2 games out of 2nd, and 3 games away from the title, and we lost our first 4 games. I don't think there was a better team the second half of the season last year than we were. Unfortunately, it says that you're going to have to be consistent.
That's just my ultimate goal in life, is to win a college championship. And I think if we get our defense right, I think we got a real chance at getting there and accomplishing what we all want.
This year, I think teams are going to step up their game from last year, and it's even going to be more competitive.